Hey guys, Levi and Andy here with Grendel Hunter, and today we're going to shoot ballistic gel with a 6.5 Grendel using a 120 grain Nosler Ballistic Tip.
That's right, we're going to shoot it at 3 different ranges, so stick around and we'll get into it. Alright, today we've got the 120 grain Nosler Ballistic Tip. And as we said a second ago, we're going to do something a little bit different with our ballistic gel testing. A lot of the videos we've seen and enjoyed, honestly, from different YouTube channels and stuff, they'll shoot a bullet at point blank, or they may even take it out to a longer distance. But we got something a little bit different today. We're going to shoot it at 100 yards, 275 yards, and 375 yards. Those may seem kind of like random distances, but there's a method to the madness. And when we talk to customers, a lot of people ask, how it performs, or how far out can it go, and that's what we're going to try to look at today. So 100 yards, obviously, that's a really common distance. People sight in their gun at it. I'll bet the majority of game, whether it's deer or hogs, get shot, give or take 100 yards. Seeing what it does there is probably useful to people. 275 yards, why that number? So when people are talking about the max effective range for something, a trendy number is to have 1,000 foot-pounds of energy in the bullet, at least 1,000 foot-pounds of energy for medium-sized game, considered ethical. Whether you agree with that yardstick or not, that is a very popular number. So 275 yards happens to be where, in our testing, this bullet hits about 1,000 foot-pounds. So let's see what it does at 100, and then 275 yards, see the difference. Now 375 yards, that's closer to like 850 foot-pounds, but the reason we chose 375 yards, and we wanted to shoot it there as well, is because Nosler says that the ballistic tip bullets will still perform down to 1,800 feet per second. And in our calculations, that's where this bullet would hit about 1,800 feet per second. Is about 375 yards. So we're going to shoot it into ballistic gel at all 3 distances and sort of do a head-to-head comparison of the same bullet, the same caliber, but just at different ranges. Alright, to kick it off, Levi is going to shoot the gel at 100 yards and we'll see what happens. When you get down and look close, you can see just the straight line, and then it starts to open up about an inch and a half in. Inch and a half is where it first starts to open. Yeah. I think it must be the tip that's gone down.
The red tip goes down, and you have that chunk that goes straight up.
Yeah, and almost backwards a little.
Yeah.
That little curly Q. And the real big part of the wound channel, what do you got that at? 2.5 inches?
Where it's fully opened, I would say 3 inches. About 1.5 inches to 3 inches is where it starts to expand, and then carries about 7 inches, and then it starts to close down quite a bit, and you can see the fragments going up and down. You still got a pretty good wound channel till about 10 inches. Yep. So it looked like about 10 is where it's only about half as big as max, but it's still real good. And you still see copper fragments. Those big copper ones are out at about, 13, 14 inches, 12 to 14. Yep.
With a few lead fragments being left behind right in the channel. And the main projectile must have gotten to 19 or 20. But the vast majority of the damage is done between inches 2 and 10. That's where it left the majority of its energy. So like the first time, it's about 2 inches in that it starts to open up.
You see the ballistic tip do a very similar as in the 100-yard test as well, where that breaks off and goes to the side.
You see the copper fragments early.
Yep. Then you get a bunch of lead fragments from like 4 inches to actually all the way to 18 inches. I guess a lot more of them are kind of concentrated in the first 10, 11 inches though. A few pieces of copper jacket from 11 to 13.5 inches again. Penetration though was even more. We had about 20 inches or so before at 100 yards, and at 275 yards here we're at 24 inches. And honestly, pretty good weight retention. I don't think, I'd have to look back at the 100 yard, I don't think we got quite as much mushroom. Weight retention probably won't be that different though. We'll see when we measure it, but I feel like that 100 yard one had more expansion. Yeah, there's not quite as much on this. Maybe 1.5 times, we'll see. The shot did hit about an inch below the top and right at about 2 inches. You can see it on the camera. There's, I don't know, a piece of shrapnel went up through the top, but the rest of the way down, there weren't pieces of shrapnel breaking out, it doesn't look like. Well, it looks like everything else was contained. I don't know if the wound channel is, I don't think it's quite as wide, I guess. Not quite as drastic. It's kind of in that same area between 2 and 10 inches. Although it might be more like between 2 and 8 on this one. We'll get the comparison. Yeah, the 100 yard one started to close down at 10 inches. Yeah, I think this one kind of starts to close down around 8, definitely. So it's not, I don't know if it's quite as wide, but it's definitely not as long. But it did penetrate several inches deeper. And I don't know if that's because we hit closer to the top of the block than dead center, or if because the bullet is hitting with less velocity, it didn't mushroom quite as much, so it was able to penetrate deeper because it's a little bit sleeker.
When we shot the gel at 375 yards, we rotated the blocks around 180 degrees, but the 275 yard wound channel is still in there along the top.
Well, first of all, it was a heck of a shot. 375 yards, you were maybe 1.25 inches from dead center of a 6-inch block. Very nice. The first thing that jumps out is penetration of 6 inches before it starts to open up that wound channel. Right, whereas at 275 and 100, it was a couple inches, 1.5 inches, 2 inches, and it started to open. This held together and didn't do anything until 5.5, almost 6 inches. And then what do we see? The tip is right there at about 6 inches. Not nearly the copper and lead fragmenting. Obviously there's the 275 bullet right above our wound channel, but our wound channel goes from about 5.5 or 6 inches to about 11. So you got about 5 inches where it's kind of full size, and then it shrinks down till about 13.5, and you lose some more copper. All 3 yardages, you see that grouping of copper fragments at about 13 to 14 inches. Yeah, that's all in the same spot, right at the end of the wound channel. You don't see the lead fragments at this range like you do with 100 and 275. No, you would actually, except for what we're seeing out at 25 and 28 inches, where, so you'd say it had good weight retention, except what you see at 25 and 28 inches, it shedded the copper jacket. The lead core went an extra few inches. But I mean, it's still, I mean, it's got all its weight. Right. It's like it took its shirt off though.
So some final notes on the ballistic gel test. You can see that 100 yards and 275 yards, you know, they're pretty similar in a lot of ways. The weight retention almost identical. If you remember those wound cavities, they started at about the same spot. I guess at 100 yards went a couple inches deeper with the main damage that was done in the first block. And then at 275 yards, that one penetrated about 4 inches deeper. But that's probably due to the fact that at 100 yards, the bullet, you know, it just expanded a little bit more, and so it had more drag. And then I almost don't know what to say about the 375 yard one. The bullet still looks, you know, a little bit gnarly. It maintained weight pretty well. If you consider that the jacket was shed just right there at the end, penetrated about 8 inches deeper than the 100 yard shot, but definitely didn't expand as much, certainly not in the way that you think about an expanding bullet. But I mean, it definitely still did some damage. Whether or not you'd say 850 foot-pounds without the same mushrooming is sufficient, that leave that up to you to decide. I think certainly at 100 and 275 yards, there's no doubt that it performed well. At 375, I would certainly feel comfortable, but each shooter can decide that for himself. When we first started gathering the velocity data for this experiment, we shot some 5-round groups back at 100 yards, and they were pretty consistently about 0.6, 0.7 MOA. And then when we got done with our 375-yard ballistic gel shot, we thought, well, just for the heck of it, we'll send some rounds at our steel target down there, and that's just a 4-inch disc on our hostage target. And that was pretty consistent too, around 0.6 MOA, maybe a touch under. We didn't actually measure it, just kind of looking at where the bullets were hitting. But yeah, nice accurate round from Nosler.
Alright guys, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. Be sure to check out our stuff on grendelhunter.com.
If you haven't yet, check out our channel for more content like this. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.